Hi everybody, it's Leah here at the Ashtabula County YMCA. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to work with another yoga practice. As you know, if you've watched the previous video that was placed up for you, I'm working with offering props or ideas for how to modify your practice using props, using things that you should have at home. Most of us don't have the equipment at home that we have at the Y, so we want to make sure that we're still able to facilitate a safe and comfortable practice. So today, our primary prop is going to be the wall right here. If you have a blanket handy, you may use that at the end when we're lying down, or sometimes it's nice to place it underneath the hips for some of the postures where we're lying down by the wall, but it isn't absolutely necessary. So if you're not set up where you have clear access to the wall, go ahead and pause this for a moment, get some stuff out of the way, and you can restart with us when you're ready to go. So to begin, we will come into our comfortable seated position, keeping in mind that your comfortable seated position may not be this easy seat or sukhasana. Maybe you like to have one or both legs extended out in front of you. Maybe you actually prefer to come into what's called fire log pose, or even the half lotus or full lotus. So just find a way, any space where you are comfortable, so that we can begin to settle into the practice space. And we do that by coming into it through the breath. You can have your eyes open or closed. And allow yourself to start noticing the support coming from the ground beneath you and the wall behind you. Follow the path of the breath from the tips of your nostrils down to that expansion of the abdomen on your inhalation. Slow, gentle release on your exhalation. Two more breaths here. With your next round of breath, let's begin to turn the head from side to side, just getting some gentle movement into the neck, as if you were slowly shaking the head no. These movements can be as large or as small as you need them to be. And keep in mind that if I suggest or offer anything that does not work in your body, please avoid doing that. You want to end the practice feeling better than you did when you came into it, not worse. You always have permission to opt out of a posture, or not is a modification that is always available to you. And the next time you find your chin in the center, we'll pause in stillness. Let's allow the chin to drop toward the chest, and then the top of the head comes back to the sky. Maybe the chin comes up toward the sky, maybe not, and then back to neutral. Slow movement here. Chin toward the chest, back through center, chin toward the sky, if and only if this works in your body. One more time here. Pausing with the neck in a neutral position, let's drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Again, or not is still an option. If you have any neck issues that make this uncomfortable or inaccessible to you, please don't do it. Allow the chin to roll to the chest if that works for you. And then the left ear can roll over toward the left shoulder. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. One more breath right here. Let's bring the chin back to center. Sit up nice and tall. We'll take a moment to notice any distracting thoughts. Anything that takes you away from your mat, away from your practice. Start to visualize the mental storage space. Maybe it's a closet or a box, a bag or a chest of drawers. Anything that you would use to store away clutter. Those distracting thoughts, distracting sounds, distracting scents are all represented by bits of clutter in the practice space of your mind. We'll allow the fingertips to float toward the ground. As you inhale, bring the hands up overhead, gathering up some of that mental clutter. Exhale, arms float down, placing it in the storage space. Two more times like that. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Last one right here. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Sealing off that storage space with all of those distractions inside. And I encourage you now to move away from the wall just a little bit. And if you're in a variation on the lotus, uncrossing, coming back into an easy seat, or again, you can have one leg or both legs extended in front of you, or we'll get a little movement into the spine with our seated cat and cow posture. So we want to be able to make contact with the wall when we arch the back. So as you inhale, draw the tailbone and the shoulders back, feeling the wall touching either or both of these spaces while there's a gap in the middle. This is our cow posture, seated cow. And as you exhale, pull navel center toward the spine and start to pull the tailbone and the shoulders toward navel center. You'll feel the middle of the back now pressing against the wall. Maybe the neck gets involved in this movement, inhaling as you open up, gaze comes up. Exhale as you round forward. 3 more times. Two more. Last one right here. Sitting up nice and tall once again. This time we will scoot farther away from the wall, a few inches away, if that's available to you. Let's bring the hands to the wall behind us. A little bend of the elbows as you lean back, and then straighten the arms. Bending at the elbows and straightening the arms. 3 more times. A little engagement of those arms, a little stretch across the front of the chest. Movement into the upper back. Moving the joints. Warming the muscles. Last one right here. Pause in stillness. Let's bring those fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, sink forward. 2 breaths here. Last one right here. And as you inhale, we'll slowly come up. Let's switch the cross of the legs. If you have the legs crossed, or if you have one extended, switch to the opposite leg extended. Fingertips come to the sky once again. As you exhale this time, we'll fold toward the right side. 1 more breath here. Walk across, folding toward the left side. 1 more breath here. And then come back to center, sinking into that deep forward fold or that shallow forward fold, wherever your body takes you. 1 more breath right here. And with your next inhalation, we'll slowly walk up. Turn so that your left hip is close to or against the wall. So we're going to use the wall to help us facilitate a twist. So as you turn, we're going to place the hands on the wall and allow the hands to start walking back, deepening your twist. So maybe the hands are out in front more, and we're just kind of pushing the wall away from us as if we were going to push it that direction. Maybe you walk the hands back a little bit more. Maybe your gaze comes over that left shoulder or the right shoulder. With your next exhalation, maybe the hands walk back a little bit more. 1 more breath here. And as you inhale, we'll walk back through center. Turning around so that we can get the opposite hip. This time the right hip will come against the wall. So nice and easy. Again, legs can be crossed or extended wherever they land. You can be right up against the wall or slightly away. Inhale here, and as you exhale, turn towards your right, hands at the wall. You want the palms to be able to pretty firmly plant on the wall. It's helping us press into this twist. So it's like we're pressing the wall in front, away from us in front. With your next exhalation, turn the hands. A little bit more if that's available to you. If you were already at your fullest expression of the pose, stay where you were. One more breath right here. Staying here, backing up a little bit, or deepening the twist just a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Last one here. Inhale as you slowly and gently unwind. Inhale, bring the fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, let the hands find the ground behind you, tops of the fists or the palms of the ground, pressing the chest toward the sky. Shoulder blades draw toward the spine. Gaze can come out in front of you, or you can bring the head back. One more breath right here. With your next inhalation, let's roll up. And we'll turn, we're going to find our way into legs up the wall. So there isn't really any graceful way to get into this posture. If you haven't experienced it yet, you're about to find out. It's exactly as it sounds. We just want to bring the legs up the wall. So to do that, you shift as close to the wall as you can, and as you start to roll down onto your back, you kick the legs up. Now maybe you land exactly where you needed to be. The legs may be a little bit away from the wall. If the hamstrings are very, very open, you might actually find it's more comfortable to have these sit bones touching the wall itself or the baseboard. So we'll begin for a moment just holding the legs up the wall. So we're using the wall for support so that we're not doing all of the work with the low back and the low abdomen. Let's begin to get a little movement into the joints. Point the toes away from you and allow the feet to flex, pressing the heels toward the sky. The heels may peel away from the wall when you do this. Exhale, point your toes away. Inhale, allow the feet to flex. 2 more times. Last one here. Pause in stillness. We'll get a little movement into those joints. So bring your right leg in toward the body and then release the foot back against the wall. And then the left. So we want to try and keep the sacrum, the hips, in a pretty steady position. Getting movement through the hip joints. 2 more times here. Last set right here. We'll get some movement into those knees. So bending at the knees as you slide the feet down the wall, and then extend the legs back up. 3 more times like that, and up. Down the wall, and back up. Last one right here. And back up. So we'll bring those feet to the wall one more time. This time, making sure that they're about hips width distance apart. So they're not wider than the body, but they're not touching each other either. Close enough to the body that you have a firm plant of the feet against the wall. And if you had socks on to this point, I would recommend that you remove those so that you don't slip when we come through these postures. We'll be using the wall as a support and we'll be pressing away from it with the feet. So we'll begin with our bridge poses at the wall. Press the feet into the wall, allowing the knees to roll up toward the sky. That's going to peel the spine off of the ground, rolling up to the shoulders and then back down. 3 more times like that. Inhale or exhale as you go up. I generally exhale on the way down, but you can inhale here if you prefer. Just being mindful that you're syncing breath and movement. Keeping the neck nice and neutral. 2 more times here. Last one here, and this time allow the hands to either rest behind the hips or maybe you interlace the hands behind the low back. 1 more breath right here. Now, if you chose to interlace those hands, I encourage you to place one hand under each hip. From here, we'll experience a variation on our shoulder stand. Allow the heels to extend against the wall, one leg at a time. Allowing both heels to rest at the wall, or maybe you keep one foot at the wall. Alternating legs. Wherever your body is. Navel center draws toward the spine. The weight is at the shoulders. The heels are just kind of resting against the wall. We're still engaging through the glutes and the core of the body. 2 more breaths here. Last one right here. Now, if you have both legs extended, maybe you just allow the hands to slide away from the hips and slowly release down against the mat. And once you're settled into your comfortable space, as close to or far away from the wall as you need to be, we'll bend at that right knee, allowing the right foot to rest at the inside of the left leg, or have a little gap if you suffer from sciatica or low back issues. If having the foot resting against the inside of the shin doesn't work for you, maybe you even take that foot and kind of tuck it behind that knee if there's a gap there. Our fallen tree posture. 2 more breaths here. Last one right here. We'll roll that foot onto the ground and allow the toes to tap over on the other side and then come back across. Over and back. And maybe you're tapping here and down. Maybe the sole of the foot comes to the wall. Maybe it's just the toes. One more time. And then allow that foot to rest on the outside of the left leg or on the shin or just at the wall on the inside of the left leg. You decide. Where does your body want to go today? 3 more breaths here. So this allows us to get into the kind of the IT band area, the tensor fascia latae, the outer portion of the hip, where the previous posture was designed to stretch the inner portion of the hip and the inner thigh. And we'll allow this leg to release and extend up toward the sky. With your next exhalation, let's bring that left foot to the wall. Inhale here, and as you exhale, allow that foot, the toes or the foot to rest or tap on the right side of the right foot, and then back to the inside. Right side, left side, right side, left side. Remember, if where you're tapping is the center of the shin, that's fine. If you're just kind of moving the foot closer to and farther away from the leg, that's fine too. Where is your body right now? 2 more times here. Last set. And we'll bring that foot or the toes to the right side of the right leg or onto the right shin. Just be mindful that you're staying away from the knee and the ankle joints. See if you can soften and settle here. 3 more breaths. Two more. Last one right here. Uncross, allow that foot to rest at the inside of the right leg as the left knee opens to the left side, or maybe that ankle tucks behind the knee or behind the thigh. Whatever is best in your body today. Now, normally when we're in a tree pose, we avoid keeping the foot at the inside of the knee, because we don't want to create any problems, any damage to that knee, mostly because we're bearing weight on the extended leg. In this case, we're not bearing weight, so if that's the most comfortable place to rest your foot, by all means go ahead and do so. If you'd rather have the foot at the inner portion of the thigh, you can do that. But again, the foot can be at the inside of the shin. It can have a little gap. It can be at the inside of the ankle, wherever your body will allow you to go. Let's just take about 2 more breaths here. Last full breath right here. We'll roll that foot to the wall and then slowly extend that left foot up toward the sky. Getting into the inner thigh a little bit more. a little more depth into the hip spaces. With your next inhalation, allow that right foot to open up toward the right side, making that L shape. Maybe you place a hand or a folded blanket underneath the thigh to support the leg. If the leg is all the way down toward the ground, that wouldn't be necessary. And if you don't feel any strain around the joints, you can certainly have the arms just alongside the body. Every body is different. So just honor where you are right now. If you start to feel strain around the knee, then you'll want to back up a little bit, allowing for some support. If you feel strain around the hip or an intense sensation at the inner thighs, we want to avoid that. So you should not feel any tingling, any burning, any pins and needles, any numbness, any tearing, any fire. If that's the case, back up a little bit. You're too far in. Or come out of the posture completely. 2 more breaths here. Last one right here. And we'll use a little assistance of that hand against the inner portion or outer portion of the right leg, slowly lifting that foot up toward the sky. And we'll switch sides. Allow that left leg to slowly slide out. Again, coming to your fullest expression of the posture. If that means that you place a hand, a blanket, a book, if you have a yoga block, you can place that there. Then go ahead and do so. If you don't feel that that's necessary or beneficial, you don't need to do that. Just be aware if you feel any tension or intense sensations around the joints or at the inner portion of the thigh or any of the muscles in the leg. Give yourself permission to back out. You want to be safe in all of your postures. 3 more breaths here. Softening in any amount more. 2 more slow, gentle breaths. Last one right here. And then give that leg a little assist, slowly drawing that foot up toward the sky. You can pause in stillness in this legs up the wall posture, or if you would like a little more opening, maybe you try a full straddle, allowing both feet to drop toward opposite sides of the room. Again, yogi's choice. You decide what works in your body today. Only coming as far as your body will allow you to go, providing some support if that's beneficial for you or not. We'll try about 4 more breaths here. Slow, gentle, easy breaths. Last 2. Last one right here. Using the hands on the outer portion of the thighs, ease the toes back up toward the sky. Once again, point the toes away from you. Flex the feet. Point and flex. One more time, point and flex. And one last posture here in this reclined position. We'll come into our half happy babies, one on each side. Let's draw the right knee in toward the chest, and then allow the knee to kind of drop open toward the right side of the body. You can leave the hand behind the shin, or behind the thigh, excuse me. You can catch behind the calf. You can catch the outside edge of the foot. Hook the index and middle fingers around the big toe, or catch the inner portion of the heel, whatever works for you. We want to have a little draw of that leg toward the ground, but again, nothing too intense. You should feel sensation, but being aware of those indicators that you came a little too far today. Allowing yourself to back up, if that's the case. No pins and needles, no burning, no numbness. One more breath right here. Release that foot, allow the leg to extend up. We'll bring the other knee in toward the chest. And again, the sole of the foot stays toward the sky. You could catch behind the thigh, staying away from the knee joint. You can catch behind the calf. You can catch the ankle, the outside edge of the foot, the heel, or hook the index and middle finger around the big toe. 3 more breaths here. Two more. Last one right here. We'll release, allow that leg to come up. And then we'll bring both knees in toward the chest so that we can find our way to one side. So allow yourself to come to whichever side is natural to you. We will find our way back up to a seated position for our close, our resting posture. Pausing for a breath or two on your side, whichever side you rolled to. Last breath right here. Now, if you prefer to remain in this sideline position or come back to a traditional Shavasana, you can, lying flat on your back. Otherwise, we've been on our back for a while, so I encourage you to try coming to a seated position on your mat once again, using the wall to support the back. Sit up nice and tall, allowing the back to be supported by the wall. The lower portion of the body is supported by the ground. Maybe the back of the head rests against the wall, maybe not. Your eyes can be open or closed. We'll allow our release to kind of melt down from the top of the head. So take your awareness to the very, very top of the head. Have a sensation of release, of softening, of settling down the back of the head and the sides of the head. Forehead, eyebrows and space in between your eyebrows. Bridge of the nose, sides of the nose and muscles around the eyes. Your temples, muscles around the ears. Cheeks, mouth, jaw and chin all soften. Front of your neck and throat soften. Sides of the neck release. Back of the neck is soft. Shoulders soften, sinking away from the ears. Release the arms from the shoulder to the elbow. The elbows. The arms from the elbow to the wrist. Wrists. Hands and fingers. The back of your upper back, middle of your back, and low back all soften. The sides of the ribs, sides of the waist and hips, sinking toward the ground. Chest is soft, as is the center of the abdomen and the lowest portion of the abdomen. Notice the glutes settling toward the ground, soften there. Allow yourself to sink a little bit more. Release the muscles in the legs from the hip to the knee. Knees and spaces that surround the knees. The leg from the knee to the ankle. The ankles. and all 10 toes. Take a big breath in. Send it out as if through the fingers and the toes, and allow yourself to take a few moments just following the sensation of breath at the tips of the nostrils. Notice the difference between the inhalation and the exhalation, difference in the temperature and the texture of each portion of the breath. When you are ready, know that there is absolutely no rush. Begin to get some gentle movement into the body, maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes from wherever you are, whether you're seated or lying down. If you chose to remain lying down, you can choose to come to a seat. It's not absolutely necessary. Let's turn the head from side to side a few more times, getting movement back into that neck. Nice and easy. One more breath here. Allow the neck to come to a neutral position. Fingertips float down to the ground. Inhale, bringing the hands up overhead, palms together. Sink the hands down the center line of the body. Again, you can do this while you're resting on your back. If you chose to remain reclined. One more time. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, palms together. Draw the hands all the way down the center line of the body. One last time here. Hands up, and this time we'll pause with the hands at heart center. If your eyes are closed, I encourage you to gently blink them open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today, for offering your time and your energy. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be secure. May you have inner peace, may you be free, and may you know love. Seal our practice with a gentle forward fold, honoring ourselves and each other. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.